Welcome to Everyday Dharma Talks, where silence becomes insight. I remember a time when my life felt like a video game I was desperate to win but couldn't. I had this project at work, it became my entire world. It wasn't just a task. It was a measure of my worth. I was the main character, the hero of the story. And this project was the final boss I had to defeat. Every morning I would wake up and the game would begin. My mind would immediately start strategizing, planning my moves for the day. A positive email was like finding a power up, a surge of energy and confidence. A criticism from my boss was a direct hit, depleting my health bar, leaving me feeling weak and discouraged. My emotions were completely tied to the game's progress. A successful meeting would give me a high that lasted for hours. A small setback would plunge me into a state of deep anxiety that would ruin my sleep. I was white-knuckling the controller of my life. My shoulders tense, my jaw clenched. I was so identified with my character, the successful professional, that any threat to him felt like a threat to my very existence. After a particularly grueling day where everything seemed to go wrong, I came home utterly defeated. I felt like a failure. The game was too hard and I was losing. I slumped onto my sofa, too tired to even eat. I picked up an old gaming controller that was gathering dust on the coffee table. I didn't turn on the console. I just held it in my hands. I looked at its buttons and joysticks, and I remembered playing games as a child. I remembered the fun, the frustration, the excitement. And then a thought drifted into my mind with a strange clarity. When the game was over, I would put the controller down. I would get up, have a snack, talk to my family. The character on the screen, whether it had won or lost, the battle was not me. I was the one holding the controller. I was the one playing the games. The game was an experience, not my identity. Sitting there in the quiet of my apartment, I saw it so clearly. The project at work, my career, my ambitions, it was a game. A very serious and important game. Yes, but a game nonetheless. And I had forgotten that I was the player. More than that, I was the one who was aware of the player. The stress, the anxiety, the desperate need to win, that was all happening to the character I was playing. But who was watching this character get so stressed? Who was aware of this deep feeling of failure? A space opened up inside me. A quiet, peaceful space. It felt like I had been leaning forward, with my face pressed up against a screen for months. And I had finally leaned back in my chair. I could see the whole screen now. I could see the player, the game, the flashing lights, the score. And from this new perspective, a sense of calm washed over me. The outcome of the project didn't seem so life or death anymore. The core lesson of this experience is this: we suffer deeply when we mistake our role in the game of life for our true self. We become so attached to being the player, the parent, the professional, the partner, the achiever, that we are tossed around by the game's every win and loss. Peace and freedom are found not by winning the games, but by remembering that we are the silent, spacious awareness that is watching the game unfold. We spend so much of our lives chasing a specific kind of satisfaction. It's the satisfaction of the player who has just won a level. It's a flash of light, a burst of exciting music, a feeling of triumph. It's the promotion, the compliment, the successful outcome, the like on social media. This feeling is real and it can be wonderful, but it is by its very nature temporary. It's like a firework. It shoots into the sky with a spectacular burst of color and light, drawing all of our attention. We ooh and ah, but in a few moments it's gone. And what are we left with? The desire to see another one. Our happiness becomes dependent on the next firework, the next win, the next moment of external validation. We end up in a constant state of striving, of needing the next hit of success to feel okay. True and sustainable satisfaction is something else entirely. It is not the firework, quiet night sky that allows the firework to be seen. It is always there. It is the sun, not the flash of lightning. The sun doesn't need to announce its presence with a loud bang. It simply is. It rises every morning, bathing the world in a steady, gentle, life-giving light. Its satisfaction is not based on a momentary event. Its nature is peace. This is the satisfaction of the watcher. The watcher within us finds a quiet joy not in the outcome but in the process. It is a satisfaction that comes from a place of deep okayness, a fundamental acceptance of the present moment just as it is. When you are the player, I will be happy if I get this job, or I will be at peace when this problem is solved. The conditions are always in the future. When you are the watcher, your peace is unconditional. It is found right here, right now. It is the simple awareness of your own breath moving in and out. It is the feeling of the chair supporting you. It is the awareness of the tension in your shoulders, and the simple non-judgmental observation of it. This peace is sustainable because it doesn't depend on the world outside of you changing. It depends only on your willingness to shift your perspective, to step back from the screen and just be the awareness that is watching. The game will continue. There will be wins and there will be losses. The fireworks will come and go. But when you are rooted in the sky, like nature of your own awareness, you are no longer shaken by it all. You can enjoy the fireworks when they appear, and you can rest in the quiet darkness when they fade. This is the difference between a fleeting pleasure and an abiding joy. So I invite you very gently to consider the game you're playing right now. Perhaps your game is about finding a partner, or raising your children perfectly. Perhaps it's about building a business, or overcoming an illness, or achieving a certain financial status. These are all valid and important games. The invitation is not to stop playing. It is not to give up or become passive. The invitation is to change your position, to shift from being the frantic, identified player to being the calm, wise watcher. The advice for this is beautifully simple, though it takes practice. It begins with creating a small gap between the event and your reaction to it. The next time you feel a powerful emotion, a surge of anger in traffic, a wave of anxiety about the future, a pang of jealousy, try this. Instead of being completely consumed by the feeling, instead of becoming the anger or the anxiety, take one conscious breath. And in the space of that breath, simply label the experience. You can say to yourself, inwardly, this is anger. Or the player is feeling anxious right now. Notice the subtle shift that happens when you do this. In that moment of labeling, you have stepped out of the role of the player and into the role of the watcher. You are no longer just the anger. You are the one who is aware of the anger. You are no longer lost in the drama on this. You have leaned back in your chair and are now watching the drama. This small gap is the beginning of all freedom. It does not mean the anger or anxiety will instantly vanish. The game is still happening, but your relationship to it has changed. You are no longer a puppet pulled by the strings of every emotion and event. You are the one who sees the strings. From this perspective of the watcher, you can still act. You can still play the game, but you will play it with more wisdom, more clarity, and far less suffering. You will make your moves not from a place of desperate reactive fear, but from a place of calm, spacious awareness. Practice creating this gap in small moments at first. This is the path to remembering who you truly are, beyond any roles you might be playing. This practice of being the watcher is not some grand, mystical state you must achieve. It is found in the smallest, most ordinary moments of your day. This is where its true power lies. Think of your morning cup of coffee or tea. The player in you might drink it hastily, already thinking about the 10 things you need to do, using it as mere fuel to win the day's first battle. The watcher, however, simply experiences the drinking of the coffee. The watcher notices the warmth of the mug in your hands. It notices the dark, rich aroma. It is aware of the taste as it touches your tongue, the feeling of the warm liquid going down. For those 30 seconds, there is no game to win. There is only the experience of being present. You are listening to a friend talk about a problem they are having. The player in you is already formulating a response, thinking of the perfect advice to give, wanting to win the conversation by fixing their problem. The watcher simply listens. It is aware of the words your friend is using. It is aware of the emotion in their voice. It is aware of your own impulse to interrupt and fix. The watcher allows the moment to be what it is, a sacred space of shared presence. A far wiser and more compassionate response may arise naturally. You are standing in line at the grocery store. The line is long and you are in a hurry. The player becomes impatient, frustrated. This is a waste of my time, it thinks. The game is getting out of the store. And you are losing. The watcher notices this impatience. It feels the tension in the body, the agitated thoughts in the mind, and then it expands its awareness. It notices the tired look on the cashier's face. It hears the beep of the scanner. It feels your own feet on the floor. The game has not changed, but you are no longer imprisoned by it. You are simply present. In these small moments, the taste of coffee, the act of listening, the feeling of your feet on the floor, you are practicing. You are strengthening the muscle of awareness. You are reminding yourself again and again that you are the sky, not the passing clouds. You are the watcher, not just the player. And in this remembering, you will find a quiet, unshakable peace that is your true home. Thank you for following the podcast. We will meet again in the next story. Be well.